Meantime, we're continuing to follow whether or not there will be an Iran peace deal with negotiations back and forth. And we heard from President Trump that he was saying that we've never been closer. We actually heard also from the Pakistani prime minister who is mediating this, saying that a deal's never been closer. Some of the Iranian news media downplaying it. But the president and the White House put out essentially what's in this deal that we believe is at hand. And you can take a look at it here. You see nuclear material will be destroyed and removed. Strait of Hormuz will be opened. Nuclear program will be dismantled. That's a big one right there. That's a red line that President Trump demands is in there. There will be no Iran funding of terrorist groups. Think Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis, and none of their money released until they perform. Remember, he said, no dust, no dollars.
Yeah, and it appears that the basic outlines of this potential memorandum of understanding is that there will be a 30-day period where the United States and Iran stop fighting. They end the essential kinetic action that's taking place right now, and they would reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and then it would go to a 60-day period where the real negotiations would begin to finalize a nuclear deal, and that's where sanctions relief could take place. No money up front, but if Iran does things like decommission their nuclear sites, they receive relief. If they give up their enriched uranium, they would receive even more economic benefit. So essentially, it would, I mean, this deal would sort of be treating Iran like a toddler. You know what I mean? Like where you act a certain way, you get rewarded for your good behavior.
And certainly a reminder of, from the beginning, President Trump's initial purpose and the reason that he has stated throughout this entire process has been the removal of Iran's ability to get a nuclear weapon. Last night, Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg spoke to Fox News on Hannity last night. This is what he had to say about that.
I'm just shocked, absolutely shocked, that a lot of Americans don't see this. It's not for our generation. This is a generation of our kids and our grandkids as well. And we've got to ensure that we have peace in the Middle East, and it will change the dynamics of the Middle East for decades to come. When we do get rid of the enriched uranium, when we do stop developing a nuclear weapon, and that's what we want to do, and that's what President Trump is determined to do. So I have great confidence he's going to get it done.
And obviously, we spent a lot of time talking about the political fallout and the political problems that come with something like this. But it is a reminder that this is one of the gutsiest political moves, or not political moves, but one of the gutsiest things in politics that we've ever seen a president do. No president, no politician would ever seek to do something this big in an election year. Election years, politicians don't do anything because they're so afraid of what the ramifications could be. But President Trump looked at this and said, I'm not going to stand by and have my children and future Americans have to deal with a nuclear armed Iran. And so he took it on in the middle of his second term, midterm, and it appears right now, if this is true, that it will be a massive payoff.
Well, that's right. And not only is he taking it on, which you rightly point out, he's shown a great amount of patience in trying to get there without going fully gloves off, which he has said, look, I might have wanted to do it, but I'm going to try and get there the peaceful way. Meanwhile, while he's saying that and demonstrating the patience, and you heard General Kellogg there talking about future generations posing a threat versus peace. Remember, we just had a week or so ago, the world's top nuclear watchdog, the IAEA, put out a warning about the enriched uranium stockpiles that exist in Iran. And that's not just a threat to America. It's a threat to the whole Middle East and Europe and the world.
Yeah, no doubt. And, what General Kellogg said is a very important point, because Iran obtaining a nuclear weapon is bad in and of itself. But also, if they do, then every other Middle Eastern country would be rushing to get one. We'd be in a nuclear arms race, the likes of which we've never seen before. And, President Trump has taken criticism up and down from both sides of the aisle for everything he's done. People saying he isn't going hard enough. People saying he's going too hard. You should pull back. This deal is never going to cross the finish line. We don't know if it will or not. But one thing is very clear is that Iran is a much weaker nation right now than they were in February, and that's a very good thing.
Yeah, and that's another thing that Lieutenant General Kellogg pointed out, that, that any way you look at it, the strong hand is still on the side of the United States, even in the middle of an election year, because, as you point out, the country has been so decimated. The military abilities have been so decimated. Absolutely. And it couldn't happen to a better bunch of people.